Hello, welcome to Geneforge 2 Infestation. We've just wrapped up our playthrough of Geneforge 1, the original version, and Spiderweb Software has just recently, as in a few days ago, released the remaster of the second installment in the Geneforge series as Geneforge 2 Infestation. So we're starting our new playthrough on the remaster of it. I encourage you, if you enjoyed the Geneforge 1 playthrough, pick up your own copy of Geneforge 2 and play along with us as we explore the second game of the series. We're going to play as the agent class. Of the three, the Shaper and the Guardian kind of are drawn in a way that they can almost be either male or female, whereas the agent is kind of, in the older game and in this game, more classically drawn as more feminine looking. And we'll get a pick a name for our female character, a nice fantasy sounding trying to think of a good name. I didn't pick one before I started, which maybe was a mistake. We'll go with Aaliyah. There we go. Nice fantasy sounding agent. Agent Aaliyah. Alright. Difference between agents and shapers. Guardians is agents typically have the worst shaping ability. We're going to play on normal difficulty here because we want combat to actually be, slightly challenging. This is the, I believe it has a similar text to the beginning of Geneforge 1. Shapers have the power to create life, make new life forms from nothing but organic matter and pure magic. Can mold this life to serve any purpose, be it light housework or major warfare. The Shapers rule the known world, and they guard the secrets of their powers well. To learn their techniques without permission is to court a speedy death at the hands of a guardian in the day or an agent in the night. That is why your current position is such an honor. You are a Shaper apprentice. You have earned the right to join them. They will teach you the secrets of life. However, Shaper training is long and difficult. You've spent years of exhausting study and you have little power to show for it. To be made a full Shaper, you must complete your apprenticeship. That means fieldwork. You must go out into the world and learn how your power can control it. You've been assigned to a full agent named Shanti. She will guide and instruct you. Your mission is simple. You are to go to an old Shaper colony called Drypeak. Drypeak is a failed colony set on a rocky, desolate mountain. You are to get a status report from the two Shapers who run it. Once this mission is complete, you can return home and gain real power. You travel with Shanti for weeks, hearing advice, running errands, getting abuse, having the pleasure of the common humans fearing you and calling you Shaper. Then you climb into the desolate mountains. You see the rubble and ruins surrounding Drypeak. After a long, exhausting climb through the cold waste, Shanti lets you set up camp in an abandoned shop. You sleep like the dead. When you wake up the next morning, Shanti is gone. Alright. So that's our intro. And that's one of the reasons we chose to play the Shaper class, is because we are apprenticing under not the Shaper class, the Agent class. We're apprenticing under an agent for this story. Alright. Welcome to Geneforge 2. This message will pop up to help you learn to play the game. We know the basics. Character is in the ruins of a bedroom. Select nearby space to move to it. So we can just regularly left click, move around, comfortable moving your character. And the remaster has one of my favorite features of games like this, where sometimes the visuals are a little busy and it's hard to see and you don't know what is optional. You can hold tab down and see interactable items. Alright, and there's a different inventory system here. We have a junk bag, you have whatever container you're looking at on the ground, you have your pack, and you have your equipped weapons and equipment. And in this remastered sort of game system, your equipment weight is what the strength is based off of. It's not based off everything in your bag, I'm pretty sure. Alright, so we've got some coins. Click up the door, open it up. Sleeping on a cold stone floor has not helped your muscles recover from the long journey. You cough some ruins dust out of your lungs and stretch out. Quickly you get up, as Agent Shanti tends to be impatient. You left your blade on the table, probably best to be able to defend yourself in this wasteland. To use these items, you'll first have to pick them up. Alright, it's the same kind of controls here. Go over G to pick up. Just clicking on it puts it in our pack, but we want to drag it over to our inventory. We're already wearing the chitinous armor, and now we have a dagger. And we've got a little instruction booklet here. Just getting and using items. You can read that if you'd like. Just basically telling you can drop stuff on the ground. Come out the door to this main room, telling us some items you find will be useless, as some won't. Fortunately, if you want to get rid of something easy. Alright, so get some trash. Trash, metal bowls. Not useful. Then, anything useful over here? Nope. Alright, come over, go check the barrel. Some more coins in the barrel. I don't know who's just leaving some random coins around. Get some gloves here on the table. We can add on to our armor. This one is a metal pot. It's got value of 6. Notice all of these have no value at all. They just are sort of like random items. But this we can put in the junk bag so it doesn't take up space in our inventory. Ready to check barrel. Alright, let's go out and talk to Shanti. You step out of the abandoned shop into the daylight. You get a good look at the road leading up to the Drypeak Mountains. Unfortunately, this valley is as dry and barren as every inch of the miserable journey up here. Drypeak is a hugely unsuccessful Shaper settlement. The Shaper's best efforts to create plants and animals that could thrive here resulted in failure. Some of these failures escaped and spread, thus most of the shops and homes, like the one you spent the night in, are empty. But you are a novice in this remote land. Shanti, your instructor and overall boss, is waiting outside. She is typically impatient. Well, novice, I hope you have had a good long sleep. She places an extra emphasis on the word long. Alright, bring daylight, it's time to move. Shanti strides up to you. Your mentor is wearing the studded leather armor favored by agents, excellent for stealth and quick travel. A long, curved blade hangs from her belt. She also wears a peculiar necklace, a series of polished fangs on a leather thong. She tends to idly finger it when deep in thought. Shanti is eager to get going. You're well rested, Aaliyah. A long night of leisure suit you? I want to get to Drypeak soon. The sooner this job is done and we're back on civilization, the better. You are now in a conversation. Respond to character. Alright, how far are we from Drypeak? Not far, I think. Just a few more miles of abandoned buildings and sand in our eyes. No danger ahead? There can always be danger. Shapers came here to make a paradise. Their experiments failed, everything ended up worse. We may have to clean up their mess. Typical. Alright, what is our job? Shanti is amused. Our job, you say? It's my job. My job is to check on Drypeak, meet with Zachary and Barzal, and get out of here. Your job, young apprentice, is to follow me, do what I say, and try to learn something about fieldwork. And if you could try not to do any harm, that would be great. Great help. What are Zachary and Barzal? Shapers, here and in charge. Hopefully not making this gruesome mess worse. Our job is to confirm that. Come on. What should I do now? Follow me. I'll scout ahead. Alright. So she's going to go on ahead. We should follow her. Hold the tab key. There's a sign. Alright. We could probably explore some back this way. Now you made some progress. You save the game. Hit F3 to make a quick save, and F4 to load. Okay. So now we've got a nice quick save. There we go. She's waiting on us, actually. We're going to poke around. Let's see if we can find anything back here before chisel. A mount 1. A chisel and a mallet. Alright. Wait, there's no bricks. Expected some bricks to be on the ground. Right, we have the junk bag. Check out these other shops. Doors locked. Not enough living tools. Ooh. Let's see. But can we? Do we have any Weapon shaping? Alright. Do we have any experience? We don't. Alright, we don't have any mechanics or leadership. But maybe we can find something useful over here. Oh, there's a rat. He's gonna get in combat with us. There's a huge rat cowering at the end of this path. The beast drools with hunger. Its eyes gleam with a vague intelligence. It doesn't want to bother you as long as you leave it alone. Giant rats didn't always exist in the wild. Then a careless shaper let one escape. Now they do. That is why shapers never ever let outsiders learn their secrets. The ability to create life comes with great responsibility. People using shaper skills in irresponsible or forbidden ways are speedily hunted down and killed. Alright. Go ahead and blast him pretty good. Alright, we'll switch to our dagger since he's up close. Ooh, good stab. Alright. In combat. Pot. See what we got over here. Alright, we got some meat. I guess we'll take whatever the rat was eating. Boards and stone blocks. Alright, so they let you put some things in a stack. We're just poking around a little bit, see if we can gather any useful equipment. Nothing on the ground here. This is back the way we came. Yep. Someday when your mission is completed, you can return here to leave the valley. Alright, yeah, but I bet there's something useful here. Oh, crystal. 30, okay. Precious stone. There we go. Alrighty. Yeah, this pays to be an explorer. 3 days walk to the next city, and long but safe journey from there to the Shaper Council and their mighty citadel. Your work is not yet complete. Until you have either done that or found proof that it is impossible, you can't bring yourself to go home. Oh yeah, we're not trying to go home. We're just trying to find all the lovely hidden, literally hidden gems that the developer has put in our path. And we can remember to come back and sneak into this area. Alright, let's reset our fireball. Alright. Shanti raises a hand to stop you. Wait, this is a good chance for you to do something. What should I do? Points at the entryway to the south. That ruin looks interesting. Go in there, investigate, see what you find. Maybe you can get some extra supplies for us. Why are there so many ruins and abandoned shops? Well, when our kind tries to settle an area, we have to create the whole ecology from scratch. We make the plants, the animals, the birds, and so on. Jigsaw everything together to make the area work. Sometimes we just can't do it. Can't make the creatures and plants that live in harmony. When this happens, there's no point in staying. It is unfortunate, but that is what happened here. Now it's just a dusty, forgotten settlement. The Shaper Council only rarely remembers it. When they do, an agent is sent to check up on them. Don't we have enough supplies? Enough? What is enough? When things get dangerous, everything you can have, that is enough. For a moment, just a moment, Shanti's supremely confident demeanor wavers. Something's bothering me about this place. Something doesn't feel right. And when things don't seem right, I gather as much equipment as possible. We did turn into a bit of a hoarder at the end of the last game. Seems like Shanti shares our equipment gathering ideals. Fight something dangerous? Shanti asks. Well, running is an option, as is fighting. And being devoured is, of course, one of the paths you could choose. Alright. I'll be back in a minute. I'll look around out here a bit more. If any rats try to sneak up on you, I'll bring the might of the shapers to bear on them. Alright, so immediately recognized what this place was, a shaping hall. Though this chamber is abandoned, and the essence pools and the alcoves are empty and cracked, their purpose is clear. Shaper settlements are full of places like this, where your kind goes about the business of using their powers to create useful life, and if necessary, destroy it. The clay shapers use to mold life is called essence. It is gooey, partially alive substance, warm, liquid, and charged with magic. Shapers like you have the ability to hold essence within your body. This can be used to make life and power spells later. If these vats were full, they could recharge the supply of essence within you. Perhaps there's an intact store of the stuff further in. Alright. Keeping an eye out for interactable things. Alright. Some gloves. So if you missed... Oh, and a shield. If you missed the... Ooh, limbs, bones. Okay. If you missed the gloves in the first thing, value 10. Alright, so we can just pick these up. They're value 10 as well. Same. So we're going to pick them all up just because I think we can sell them later. Alright, we're up to 23 pounds of equipment. But we might be able to sell them at a shop later. Check out. Alright, we already checked out the barrel. It's probably a nice baddie behind the door here. Oh, nope. This is a shaping chamber. Here, shapers can use their secret knowledge to take raw essence and work it into living things, strong and usually obedient. Happily, there is an intact essence pool in the back corner. When you are low on essence, standing near such a pool will restore your reserves. Later, you will use essence to make creations or cast spells. When you cast enough spells, you will need to return to a pool like this one to recharge. However, when you make a creation, the essence you spend will be tied up, keeping the creature alive. Essence spent making a creature won't come back until the creation dies or you reabsorb it. Alright, so we've got the nice book here. Talks about how to make creations. It's 5. You will probably need to make creations, especially if you're playing the Shaper class. You already know how to make the Fiora. We didn't actually have to. So in the first game, we had to get a. We were not even apprenticed yet, so we had to like use a skill canister to learn how to make a Fiora. But we start as an apprentice here, where we already have that. You can create up to 7 servants. All right. I'll get XP for reading the book. Let's see what's in here. Oh, we got a curing pod. Alright, that'll be useful. Shackles, tongs, and an hourglass. Not something that we need. What do we have over here? More shackles, rope, a broken sword. Yeah, I wonder if a broken sword could be useful later. Let's go ahead and pick that up. You know what? Why not? Rope 2. There's crafting in this game that was, I believe, maybe not, added later. That might not be in the original. Who knows? You always need some helpful little bones and whatnot. Alright, notes on combat. We'll learn as we go combat. But we get a little experience for reading. Open the door. Operating room. Wounded humans and creations were brought here for maintenance. Maintenance? Interesting word choice. A trained shaper can use magic and raw essence to rebuild damaged bodies. Happily, there's an intact healing pool in the back corner of the room. Pools like this are semi-living creatures, shaped to cure beings who stand nearby. If you are wounded, stand near such a pool to heal yourself. There is a hole in the roof that enables sunlight to shine through. This light helps keep the pool fed and alive. However, without added nutrients, it will eventually dry up and die. Alright, so we got some stuff on the table here. We got a bandage. Oh, nice. More bones. Let's go check out this case. A healing pod, handy. Scalpel and a bedroll. Don't think we'll need the bedroll. Getting healed up. Did we check out the barrel? We did, it just had bones in it. Alright. Is there a meal on the table there? Nope. Just a bit of scenery. There's a storeroom. Most of the equipment here is useless to an adventurer like you. However, you are happy to see a living tool on the table. A living tool is exactly what it sounds like. It's a tentacled creature attuned to the wishes of whoever is holding it. You can direct the long, dexterous tentacles of the little fellow, using it to unlock locked doors and manipulate machinery. You should get the living tool. Later, when you find a locked door or piece of misbehaving machinery, you will be given the option to use one or more tools on it. Unfortunately, using a living tool tends to kill it. The higher your mechanic skill is, the fewer living tools you will need to do any particular job. Right, let's see what's in the box here. Bolt of cloth, 45 value. So we're getting some useful stuff. All right, so we've got the living tool, scales, a horn, a metal bowl, and a lamp. Go ahead and pick up the lamp. I don't know how useful it's going to be, but it says it's a light source. A horn. That sounds like something that could be used for crafting later too. You never know. We'll just throw it on the ground somewhere useful and go about our business. Alright, we explored the whole area. It's got the healing pool, the essence pool, and Shanti is nowhere to be seen. Alright, let's go exploring. You're surrounded by gruesome fungal flora. Bulbous trees and woody spikes stick out of the dirt at strange angles. This is the work of shapers, trying to make trees that can grow in this dead soil. The experiment was not a success. This is living flora, true, but it is thorny and useless. A breeze carries the scent of the plants to you. They also smell like rot. Lovely. Alright, plants that smell like rot. That's not... You realize that once again you are not alone. There's a Fiora in the clearing ahead, watching you. A Fiora is a creation. It is a creation invented and improved by your people, for use as a scout or an attack dog. Since it is a creation, it should be naturally inclined to obey you. However, this creature does not seem obedient at all. It is not hostile either. It's just staring. It is an eerie feeling being watched by a creation in this way. Creations have always obeyed you mindlessly before. Drypeak was supposed to be a quiet, mostly abandoned settlement. Why is a rogue wandering around? Strange and dangerous. You find a small camp. There's a dirty, torn tent. There are faint, fresh tracks around it, some human and some reptilian. You find no sign of who lives here. However, you feel like you're being watched. What's on the ground? A blanket. Okay. Check out the pot. Some dried meat. Alright. So we've got him. Snow resistance is interesting. It's a lost Fiora. I wonder what we can do about him. There's a nasty little rat. We could... There's two of them. We could probably kill them. Alright. Like most of the shops along the road to Drypeak, this smithy has been abandoned for several years. Some industrious souls have been tearing blocks out of the wall and carrying them off, probably for building materials. Surprisingly, someone has left some javelins on the counter. They look new. Maybe they were forgotten by a hunter. Okay. Someone just left some javelins. We have tools with value 8. We have javelins. Alright. So we have the melee weapon and the ranged weapon. Bar of iron. Heavy. Good value. Alright, and a smithy, tools, and a belt. Alright, so we can put a belt on for some extra... Whoops. Okay, right-clicking, apparently, puts items, like toggles items on and off. Alright, we kind of want to check out what's in this corner. I have a feeling... Whoops. Alright, well... Wait, why... I wanted to use the firebolt from where I was at. Oh, that's a lot of... Alright. We may die here to these giant rats. We did not equip any, Oh, good hit. Alright, we're gonna have to retreat here back to that healing pool. Also, I'll have to... No, I don't want to... I want to swap the missile weapon to be my attack spell, but I guess I can't do that. Alright, come over here and heal up. Don't need to stay there long. We don't have much health to begin with. Alright, a little confusing on the controls. And selecting a combat spell automatically starts combat, which is also something new. Alright, what do we got here? Ooh, dead servile, alright. Silver disc, some sandals, more javelins. Alright, so we got some shoes that apparently didn't have any shoes on before. Oh, nope. Wait, let's see. Yeah, so it's worse physical armor, same magical armor. Let's get some value. Alright, it's a dead servile here. Poor creature must have been overwhelmed by the rats. I mean, we were nearly overwhelmed by the rats. Switch to melee weapon as our default. And we'll come on sneaking by the lost Fiora. Don't want to fight him unnecessarily. Oh, there's a grave here. Gravestone says, Talia of Ezra, loyal shaper, made mistake, eaten. The date of death is about 20 years ago. Okay, made mistake and eaten. Alright, dried flowers. Clay ball. The flowers seem useful. Mangy rat. Alright, Shanti stops you. The late morning sun has caused her to break out into a sweat, and she seems very slightly unnerved. Been scouting ahead. This is not right. There are rogues in this area. I think I may need to give you some combat training earlier than I planned, and some advice as well. Search that ruin to the south. Describe what you saw. Shanti is thoughtful. Less is there than I hoped. Still, I hoped it was instructive. I'm ready for training. One of the first things you learned in your training was how to focus, so that you could be taught things very quickly with almost no need for repeating. Yet you've been taught very little. The Shapers are very slow to teach initiates their secrets. That is why it is a pleasant surprise that Shanti is teaching you an actual skill. Listen carefully. This is something you should know. Shanti teaches you a spell called Daze. It sends forth shining motes of essence which perplex foes, temporarily keeping them from acting. You are outnumbered. Use this spell to stall excess enemies while you deal with the others. That would have been useful against the rats 5 seconds ago. Alright, what did you find ahead of us? More ruins, more dead trees, and rogues, I think. I caught the stink of them. Go north and you will be near them. You will find a building just before the rogues. Inside I left some books for you. They will explain magic for you. You may find them useful. There are also healing and essence pools. Those will be very useful. Okay, so there's more ahead. What advice do you have for me? You're an agent like me. An honorable and brave path to follow. We rely on our blades and more importantly our magic. You will live or die based on your spells. The Firebolt spell will, I suspect, be very valuable to you very soon. In the next section, you will learn how to cast spells. Alright, well, we've already been doing that. More I would like to know. Oh, me too, my apprentice. This is not the time or place to talk. We will have the chance for leisure when we reach Drypeak. I promise I will have many questions for them. What should I do now? You will follow me. If there are rogues, and I think there are, we will need to kill them. It is our responsibility. The ones I miss, you will slay. Alright, Alright, lead on. I'll kill what I can. I am ready to proceed. Alright. I'll move ahead and kill anything even mildly threatening. Try to leave a few of the weaker rogues. You can sharpen your skills. Try not to get too maimed. She rests her hand lightly on the pommel of her blade and walks quickly off to the north. You suspect that she's looking forward to what's about to happen. She checks to make sure her blade is ready, then she turns and leaves to the north. Alright, we wanted to pick up these flowers. We wanted to read this grave. Gravestone says, Fanzrin, mundane guard, slain pacifying a rogue. He honored the law. The date of death is about 30 years ago. Alright, we'll leave the mangy rat. Alright. You've reached the end of this area, the first of almost 90 in Geneforge 2 Infestation. When you are ready to move on, step on the area shaded blue. You'll then be on the world map. So, standard way of leaving the map that we already have learned in the first playthrough. That hasn't changed. Next session will be automatically selected for you. Learn spells and combat in the next section, which we've already... Oh, not yet. We didn't want to leave just yet. We want to explore these little ruins. Aha, see? All this hidden stuff. Oh, thorns. Ammunition for the baton. So we don't have a baton yet, though, but I suspect we will find one. More thorns in the next area. Let's see, anything over here? No, and we also, all right, so train. Aha, here we go. We have experience, we have 10 skill points. We bump our mechanics up and our leadership up. And then in this playthrough, we're strong in magic, standard in combat, and weak in shaping. So these all cost a lot more skill points to use. Oh, essence mastery. Aha. Increase all spell effects by 5%. Yes, that's something we're going to want. Go ahead and bump each of these up as well. Alright. So now, our mechanic skill is 2. If we come back to this door over here before we leave, ooh, little pathfinding glitch where it starts going the wrong way. Alright, back to the thing. Let's see. Hey, we can open the door. Because our mechanic skill was 2, we can open the door. Alright, more. Need some beakers and a mortar and pestle. Doesn't show any value. Anything? Bowls, spoons. Anything over by the pot? Nope. Alright. So not much in there, but we're going to use that mechanic skill later in the game. And come over here and see. I'm very curious if, alright, with our leadership, Forge doesn't respond. Not surprising, they can't talk. Okay, so it's just standing there. We can't talk to it or anything like that. Alright, we're ready to leave this region. I think we've done everything we can other than get rid of the mangy rat. Maybe we'll come back and take care of it later. Alright, travel to the Drypeak Mountains. And that's going to be the end of our first episode of Geneforge 2 Infestation. Hope you'll join us for the rest of the playthrough as we go along this new remaster of this game. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.